We're here with our buddy, Mr. Jake, the answering machine at Brad Winstrup's office. And this is the 28th of March, 2024. And we got our buddy Jake here, who's taking a little bit of time to talk to us and let us fill his ear up, and hopefully he's got some information that he can give back to us here. What is Brad working on right now?
Well, is there a specific topic you want to look into, sir?
Yeah, all of it actually, but one in particular that's got us all kind of, we're scratching our heads about is why is it that if something happens like a catastrophic catastrophe, like the bridge that happens to be named the Francis Scott Key Bridge, totally gets crashed into or whatever. They're supposed to have tugboats and stuff like that working right there in the harbor, where they can, like, and you would think, the state that our country is in right now, that we'd be on pretty much high alert for such things to be happening, because you know who General Flynn is, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you happen to catch, or did any of you out there happen to catch what General Flynn said that would be taking place? He said,
Not off the top of my head, sir.
Okay, well, he said that they have what's called Operation, it's not Mockingbird. That's a different corrupt thing that they do. But anyway, I forget the name of the operation that will be taking place. And he said this, like, a month ago or something like that? And now it's actually playing out, because the big thing that we got to watch for is when they do these stuff that happens that really there's no way to prove that it was nefarious, or that something is suspicious, When you see something that happens, like these big bridges and stuff just collapsing, it's not a coincidence by no means. And you know what? How sad is it that we live in a country, Jake, now, till where if something like that happens, like all the viewers and everybody subscribed to this channel, and even the ones that's not, I talked to a lot of people here lately. It's unbelievable. Why is it that when something happens anymore, that the American people don't feel like, oh, it was just an accident? Why is it that the first initial thought is there was no accident there? Had to be something. Now, why do we feel that way? First of all, because that it is. It is because something nefarious is going on. I don't believe that this just happened willy-nilly out of the blue or whatever, because it's a pretty big deal when there's a multi-million-dollar bridge standing there that happens to be named the Francis Scott Keys Bridge. No, say it.
That is also used to transport food. It's one of the main.
Yeah. You know what?
It's one of the main bridges used for that.
Good job. No, I forgot all about that. But Jake, did you know that that port right there, that's going to be closed down now for obvious reasons, right?
Yes, the port will not be able to operate at 100% capacity. It's probably not even a 0% capacity right now. But one of the big figures that stood out to me was, I think 50% of all car shipments from overseas, imports as well as exports, go through the port of Baltimore. So it's a major hit to our country, sir.
Wow, good job, Jake. But what Noam is pointing out here is that port is used for all of our farming equipment, the parts and stuff like that. It is specifically to that port. So for our farmers now, we've been looking into our food and stuff, and we know that we're getting poisoned.
And I just thought of this, but with the farmers around the world, protesting and everything, it's not a coincidence now that the bridge that they use for their equipment is now out of service.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk about retaliation. I mean,
Right. And as you know, you're not the only one saying that. Look at all the people that you've talked to, that you've told me about, that said that very thing, It's just absolutely sad if you back up even further and look, why are we here? Our government has absolutely failed. Or is it a failure? See, this is what we're asking now. Can it be a failure if something's planned to do exactly what's happening? You can't call it a failure. No. See, to us, I started thinking, well, the government's failing us people. And that's true. Because whenever you're dealing with something like that jabby stabby thing in the arm, that you're supposed to not talk about and stuff on this platform here, but it just is absolutely unbelievable, the state that we've got here, that we know that the government doesn't care about we the people, but it goes further than that they actually are planning against us and are planning our demise. Isn't that sad, Jake?
Oh, sir, it's well, first off, it's a tragic situation what happened in Baltimore, and
Amen.
I remember
Absolutely.
last week we were talking about what was it, canola oil, correct, sir? And how what is it, 70% comes from I can't remember the exact figure where it comes from, but I want to say, give me 1 second, sir.
Wow. Good memory, Jake.
I try, sir. Thank you.
Well, I'm sitting here really, first of all, I was thinking how amazing that it was that our last conversation that we had went so well, and how you actually showed that there is somebody that's working for we the people that is actually one of we the people, because you made a turnaround at the end of that and done something that was totally shocking that we're still talking about. I'm still getting emails and people calling me and everything else, and we're still talking about that. So, kudos to you. And I think that's what we need more of. What was the one that there is a person in Congress, and I need to look this back up. I can't remember his name, but he actually stood up in front of all the people who are bought off by the lobbyists and stuff.
Something Morgan.
And he said, look, I'm here for the people, and, all these big businesses and stuff need to go somewhere else because I'm not listening to them. I'm here for the people. And then they switched it over, and then they let the other person speak, one of them, and he said, well, the people don't know their ass from a hole in the ground because they're too dumb to understand what it takes to be up here. No kidding. And, of course, I'm kind of changing it up a little bit, but I'm telling you that's what he was saying without using those words. But he thinks that because he talks and he uses these these words like, well, it's because of, what did he call them now? I need to look it back up because I can't remember exactly how he said it and stuff, but he said, plain as day, not to listen to the people because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. But he is running for Congress, and I think Noam right now is trying to find that or whatever, and it'll actually, I can pull it back up later, but for right now, we are focused on that, but we're trying to see so many things at one time, Jake, it's not even funny. Everybody's head is spinning from this. I mean, everybody that calls me, that I reach out to, that I'm in contact with, I'm talking to and stuff. But, you know, we're really curious to know what it is that Brad, like what's he focused on right now. I hope he's not still not just still digging into COVID.
Well, it's certainly one of the big policy areas here for the congressman, since he's the chairman for the select subcommittee on the coronavirus pandemic. But besides that, I think one of the more notable bills that the congressman is a primary sponsor for is called the Educate Act, which would basically diminish funding to any medical school that uses DEI to basically rate or accept students into their educational facilities. So the congressman wants to bring medical schools back to a merit-based educational system rather than being based on someone's gender, race, diversity, anything like that. I think it's all about merit at the end of the day for the congressman. That's one of my favorite bills of his that we've just dropped, sir.
Yeah. Now, Jake's talking about the diversity and inclusion.
Yes, DEI.
Yeah. Where tell him, Jake, what that stands for.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yeah. Thanks. I couldn't remember the equity and inclusion there.
No, you're fine, sir. You're fine.
I appreciate that, but they right now have these airlines. You know, when you're flying from one state to the next, or even in-state, it doesn't make any difference. But if you're on any kind of flight, especially a commercial flight, they are pushing the diversity, inclusion, and what Jake's talking about, to the point where they are putting your safety last. Because if somebody has, if they're part of the alphabet idiot clan, then they'll put them in there. And it doesn't matter if they're dumber than a hoe handle. Even though there's somebody that's standing there, you know, that might be purple, you know, if it's not the color that they want, they're going to put who they want in there, you know, that maybe a furry or somebody that identifies as being a Twinkie or a cat or something. And that's absolutely insane. And if you look this up, you can see now to where the accidents are on the rise, because they're wanting to put women in there as pilots and stuff. And, you know, just because somebody wants to be a pro basketball player, you know, if you can't shoot and make it in the hoop, what are you doing there? Here you go. Let's look at it this way. How many times have you ever been to some place like where they're singing karaoke, or maybe you didn't go anywhere, but you can look on. Say it again, Jake.
I've done karaoke a few times, sir.
Oh yeah, I love it. Don't you?
Yeah, great time.
But unfortunately, there's some people that should never ever speak, let alone try to sing. You know, because I personally have had songs that I really loved, you know, and then and then somebody comes along and tears it up in a bad way. Not to tear it up as in a good way, like probably Jake sings really good, but you know, I've heard people that they, you know, again, like we've said for years and years, couldn't carry a tune in a bucket. Which is actually kind of a pet peeve of mine. It's kind of off topic a little bit, but just for everybody out there, I'm a firm believer in what I have coined organic music. And I don't know if, Jake, if you feel the same way as I, or you guys out there, let me know what your guys' feeling is on this. But I don't like it whenever you use AI or what's the one that fixes your music and stuff?
Auto-tune?
Yeah, auto-tune.
Yes, that's correct.
You know, I don't, you know, if you're auto-tuning, that's not their voice. You might as well just listen, you know, do your ears a favor and listen to the original singer, you know, sing it. So why would you go over and listen to somebody that changed and twisted, and it's not even their voice. You can hear them. I mean, they can't even hardly talk, let alone sing. And with auto-tune, it completely changes everything. It's not the same. So, but and the same way with they have buttons you can push and you can put together. And there's a reason why that I'm actually talking about this. I said it was off topic, but I'm going to bring it back on to topic here in just a second. But if you want, like you can't play a drum or whatever, but you can push a button on auto-tune and stuff. You can have drums or whatever it is, the music maker or whatever it's called. If you need a guitar, you can do that. You can create your own songs. No matter, it doesn't matter if you can sing or not, because you can just change your voice to sound like something that's tolerable, you know. And so it's totally not the same. Now, I'm talking about that, and here's how I'm going to bring that back in to be relevant here. We are getting duped by this same technology. And don't get me wrong, I'm all about, good technology or something like that, when we can save people's lives and stuff. But why in the hell do we live in such a demonic place, the world, where somebody's thought is, there's something good. How can I make that benefit me by hurting somebody else? And what I'm talking about is they are talking about creating a false rapture. Have you heard about that, Jake?
I have not, sir.
Okay, something that I really would like for you, and I'm truly talking to you, everybody out there, but I'm talking to you, Jake, just off the clock here or whatever you want to. But look it up. There is a guy that actually worked at Area 51, and he was, private contractor, because he said there's no way that he does it by the hour or whatever for him, because it's a thing anyway. But while he was doing work there, how many thousands of offices, or not just offices, but workspace, did they say that's in Area 51, that they still deny, even though everybody knows it's there, you can see it and watch it and everything else, the government still denies it. Weird. It's like, oh, wait a minute, that's not weird, that's Democrat. So, but there's like thousands of spaces where they have underground different projects going on. One of those projects being, and you can look this up, this guy walks over to the window with his colleagues around him there who's doing the work on the projects and stuff with him, and they look up in the sky and they see the angels fighting the demons in the sky. And he said that him standing there using his own eyeballs, if somebody would have said, is that real? He'd have said 100,000% that's real. And that we have no idea the technology that's taking place. Now, here's how I know that he's absolutely telling the truth about that. First of all, go watch it, and then you can tell when somebody's lying, because they start stuttering. I stutter a lot because I got a lot, so I'm not necessarily lying all the time. But anyway, do you remember seeing the Pope when he got in the window here? When was that? A year ago or whenever that happened? And then all of a sudden he just disappeared. He's standing there, and then when he goes to leave where he was speaking at, it doesn't, how you can tell like when something's been altered or spliced or something like that? No, he just disappeared. Now, why is that relevant? That happened a year ago. This guy just came out and started talking about this here just not so long ago. It's because he said that they still have bugs or whatever, or at least when he was there was things that they needed to work out of the system, and that being that if you, when they got done, like with what was taking place, that they didn't know how to just fade it out or to like make them like look like they rode off into the sunset, or how to make them disappear, but it would just shut off like that. Same thing happened with the Pope, just like somebody turned the light switch off, because he was there, you seen him, and then gone. You got all these holograms and everything else. So we're being duped. And Jake, man, you are in a position that you could like be our undercover secret agent disguised as a answering machine. So we want to invite you over to the good side, and you can be the very first person on my channel from the government that would be like the very first genuine, straight up person that works for we the people of the new government, the people's government. We're not going to call it the government. We're going to call it the people's government. Are you in?
Sure. Well, I will never work undercover since this is a legislative branch. It's meant to be an open position. Therefore, we can talk to constituents. But, this is... you were mentioning about the Pope again. Were you saying something about... Was it teleportation? Is that right, sir?
No, he was actually. I like how you veered away from that subject there. So that's okay. You stay over on the dark side, but we'll get you over to the good side eventually. I still got hope for you there. The Pope was making a speech, and he actually came out on the balcony, and he was waving to the people and everything like whatever he did. You can look it up. Look it up. And you know what? You're there at the computer. I know you can see everything that you want to see. Punch in Pope disappears. Here, you know what? I might be able to get it here. Hold on. Pope disappears from balcony. We'll see if we can find this. Give us just a minute. We'll be right back. All right, we got something pulled up here, and Jake's viewing that at the same time we are. So video shows Pope disappearing into thin air on TV. All right. And this happened, how long ago was it?
Not really sure, sir.
This was 3 years ago. Now, did you see him? Now watch right here. Watch him. He's there, and then he turns around and gone. Gone, just like a blink of an eye. 2 videos was from a CBS, which is corrupt people, ABC, station in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Alright, well this ain't very long, so let's see what it says here. Let's see. Before Pope disappeared by walking out of camera range, the image of the Pope vanishes abruptly. See there, he's doing the big... Now watch him here. Zoop! Gone, just like that. Watch frame by frame, it says. So see, this is exactly like the man is talking about, and I'll get that. Maybe we'll do another video later on here. But frame by frame, watch. And alright, we're slowing the frames down here. Gone. Nothing to see here, So what do you think, Jake?
That is very confusing to me, sir.
Yeah, that's how we the people out here are feeling and stuff. Is like it's a thing when you see like something horrible, and you're so right. When you said what a tragedy, and our hearts go out to anybody involved with that. That something happens, and the first thing that we know, something's corrupt. That they're talking about that was hacked and different things like that. There's nobody just believing had engine failure and it just rammed into the pylon and collapsed the whole bridge just by accident. we got to change some stuff. We have to change this whole thing, and we are going to change it. We are changing it, and I want to bring it to everybody's attention about what Donald Trump just did with Lee Greenwood. Did you see what's going on with that, Jake?
Could you remind me, sir?
Yeah, the Bible.
Oh, yes. Donald Trump released a Bible, correct? Is that right, sir?
Well, he's promoting the Bible that his buddy Lee Greenwood, he's the one that sings "God Bless the USA." So they have just a King James Version Bible. But here's the beautiful thing about it. I have said this all the way along. Matter of fact, if you go back to my videos and stuff, you'll see a long time. I've always said this. From the time I heard somebody say, well, you know, politics and religion don't mix. Well, and just now I'm actually thinking there's two sides of that, really. If you think of it as politics is dirty, corrupt, and ain't worth a crap, yeah, they don't mix too good. But if you think about it in the sense of politics and religion, as in like what our brother Jake right here is doing, where he's actually, you know, finding out, he's talking with us, the people, and trying to get some of our questions and stuff straightened out and stuff. Then it's different, because politics and religion absolutely, to me, 1,000% mix. Because what is the 10 Commandments? Don't kill. Okay, well, one of the 10 Commandments is don't kill. But guess what? Are you allowed to go out and just kill somebody with no consequences? No, it's a law. You kill somebody, you get put in prison or something. You know. So our laws are based off of the 10 Commandments. So inherently, they're one and the same. You know. Because that's what we truly want. We want law and order, because we know that's the right thing to do. You know, don't step on somebody else, and if they need help, help them. You know, that's what God, when He was here in the flesh, taught us. You know, help somebody that's down, but then don't sit there and do their work for them. You know, help them, get them on their feet and stuff, and then you should want to do, you know, your own work. You should want to do something that you have, dare I say, pride in, that you did it yourself, you know? The Bible tells you to do that, you know? To earn your way by the sweat of your brow. Sorry, Jake, go ahead.
No, I had nothing to say. I was just, Congressman's a big fan of the American dream and law and order, like you said. That's incredibly important. What was the second thing you said, sir? It's not coming to the top of my mind right now, sir.
Well, I'm not sure what you're referring to, other than politics and religion absolutely is one and the same. But this Bible, how can anybody be offended at anybody who's a Christian and believes in the Lord, or somebody for wanting a Bible, and the left is losing their mind over this? They're like saying, oh, the next thing you know, he's going to make it till where everybody has to have a Bible with them, and so on and so forth. Rubbish. Because think about this. Do you remember what they said that Trump would do if he got in the first time? And let's be clear about this. This is not about Donald Trump. When they say, oh, you know, like Letitia James ran on the premise of, no matter what, I'm going to get Trump. Well, what she was actually saying is, no matter what, I'm going to do what I want against the American people. So when they keep shooting at him and they keep missing tremendously, why is that? Because they're shooting at we the people. And they don't understand that. They don't get that. We don't see Donald Trump as just being like a one person. They are shooting at us. They're trying, literally, they don't understand that we know now that they are out to get us. They're out to crush us and take our rights away. They can't do it. Look, if it's your right, that means nobody can take that away, as the Constitution tells us. You know, it's God-given rights. You shouldn't, you know, these people that told me that they went out and they was getting their concealed carry permit and all that stuff, and I said, well, I've already got mine. And they said, well, when did you get yours? And I said, oh, I had it when I was born. And then they caught on right away. It's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, but you're supposed to have. I said, no, you ain't supposed to have that. I said, you don't need that. All you did is you just made some fat cat richer is all you did. Just like having driver's license and license plates on your car and all that stuff. That's a bunch of rubbish too. Go look that up. You can get in your car and you can travel in your car. You don't need a driver's license unless you're doing something to get paid for it. But see, this is the big scam that's been run on we the people, to the point where it's on autopilot now. It's like after you brainwash people into it. Look, like this generation, we know that something is a right of ours. Let's say, you know, the Second Amendment, you know. All right, well, what they do, Jake, you know exactly what I'm talking about, too. Everybody out here does. That what they do, they don't look at it like this generation. They're aiming for 2 generations down the road. So what they do is they start separating the people that know something and getting them away from the people that don't know. And they start indoctrinating them. And they start bringing other things to their attention that's so off the wall, like, hey, don't tell your mom and dad, we'll just take you down the road here and let you snip parts of your body off. And no, you're not really male. No, you just think that you would. But you know, you really ain't male. No, you can be whatever you want to. Yep, you want to be a goat? All right, get in, goat. Let's go. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And this sounds nuts to anybody that's got a brain in their head, right? But guess what? This is happening. This is happening. And how many times do we go out? Absolutely. You know what? No, I've seen you shake your head and stuff too whenever I've taken you out to the store and stuff, when you needed to go and stuff. At these people that wear clothing that have like these neutral colors, and just like you can't tell if they're a male or a female. You really can't. And I used to say, there's no way a dude would ever dupe me into thinking, but let me tell you, there's one on here that I ought to show it to you. Maybe I'll pull that up sometime or whatever, but I'm not going to be cruel this time. But I will, maybe on a different video or something. But Jake, this thing had black hair, and you know, see, before my brain would say, wow, that's a pretty female, you know, and she had like different it had different colored rifles and stuff. So I'm like, well, what's that all about? So I clicked on it and I start watching it, and I'm not kidding you, I'm like halfway through this, and it said something about, you know, you to all you people out there that said this or whatever, that girls can't have guns or whatever. Well, I'm not really a girl anyway, so it don't matter to me, or whatever it was that it said. And I'm like, hold the phone. What did it just say? And I had to rewind and look, and then, and only then, and shameful. But see, this is how the devil works. He is a great deceiver, and that's what the Bible says. And when the Bible says he is a great deceiver, look, that Bible says something. Every single word in that means something way more than you could ever imagine. I don't care what the word is, even the word the or a or whatever. So, but it's so, I was absolutely floored. So, but you know, why should we have to live in a place like that where they're teaching somebody? We're not going to continue this, but why are we in a place where our own government, which is disowned now, why are they trying to confuse everything? Why don't they call it like it is? You know, the truth shall set you free. You know, and to me,
Democrats, sir, I couldn't give you a good answer.
you know what? That was really good. I like that. Jake said that it's Democrats. Can't give you an answer on that. We're going to give you 2 points for that one, Jake, for sure. You know, tell us what you think about the. Now, we're struggling here with gas prices and everything else, the failed electric car crap and garbage and everything. You know, let's close our coal plants and stuff like that to make our electricity and stuff. But let's make sure that China opens up a brand new one every week over there. You know, absolutely crazy. But tell me what you think about us paying for somebody else's college over in Egypt.
Well, I can tell, going back to oil prices, or gas prices, I should say. The Biden administration, if you remember, very early on in Biden's term, was selling off a lot of our strategic oil reserve to try and keep prices down. It did very little in the long run, and if anything, it really diminished our strategic stock of oil, which is meant usually for wartime. So that's one mess up for the Biden administration. Regarding electric vehicles, you know, good in theory. The congressman at the end of the day believes in all of the above approach to energy, because at the end of the day we have to meet energy demand, because it keeps rising and supply isn't always there. I mean, if you look at Texas back in, I believe it was 2020 or 2021, when they had a huge frost over the state. It was only 30 degrees, but of course the state is not used to seeing that temperature and the amount of frost and ice that accumulated across the state, and it did a lot of harm to the electric grid. And at the end of the day, more people die in the cold than they do in the heat, and that is primarily because, well, one, the cold, you have more adverse effects when it comes to being colder than warm. Obviously, there's conditions like heat stroke, but frostbite, hypothermia are all associated with the cold. And when you're not able to meet energy demand, it's catastrophic for the grid. Electric vehicles, sir, good in theory, but most of the battery components come from Chinese manufacturers. So that's a really big concern for the congressman and myself and the rest of the staff, and I'm sure the American people as well. So that's just kind of the congressman's thoughts on this issue, sir.
Well, I think it's kind of your thought too there. I can tell by the way you're talking about that you feel the same way, and that's absolutely across the board. Everybody I know feels the same way. The electric car thing, I mean, sure, if somebody wants to keep playing with that or something like that, absolutely. Do I think that we'll have a legitimate, longer lasting battery and stuff in the future? Absolutely. Everything continues to get better, as there always has to be a step one. Well, it's easy to get to step two after somebody's created that first initial hardest step, which is step one. Elon Musk, who, man, I'm telling you, I don't know about that dude at all. He doesn't. I don't trust him. I just can't trust him. I'm pretty sure. Noam, how do you think on him? Is he? Do you trust Elon? Or
No.
What do you think? No. I don't know of anybody who straight up says, yeah, he's good, even though he bought Twitter and all that stuff, and now he's calling it X, so I guess it's X Twitter or something. I don't know. But the guy, actually, have you heard that they're shooting a missile or a rocket, whatever it is, at the upcoming eclipse? By the way, if you're not aware of this out there, the eclipse is happening April 8th, and it's a huge thing if you're not aware of it yet. But
I believe it's going over northwest Ohio, sir. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see it here in D.C.
Well, yeah, you'll still be able to see it because there's
just not the full eclipse, sir. Excuse me.
No, you'll be able to see it. Get online there. They have a live shot of it. There's actually a guy that's all he does. Just so if you want to watch it, anybody out there or whatever, I don't remember. I'll see if I can find it later or something. But why is it saying yes? Play this video. What did I get pulled up there? What is that?
Something about a guy vanishing.
Yeah,
Another
we don't
one.
want that. That's not. Anyway, we done went through that. So, but yeah, you can pull that up, and it also shows on that same coverage like the solar flares and different things. So, but if you can't escape, Jake or anybody out there, you know, if you want to see it, look that up. Let's see. Solar eclipse coverage live. I know I have it somewhere. Let me see if I can find it here. Here we go. Oh, CBS? No. Gives warning ahead of total solar eclipse. What kind of warning they giving us on that? Anyway, there's channels that you can find if you want to see it out there. The question that I was asking, Jake, what do you think about the $15 million in that $1.2 trillion paying for the College of Egyptians?
Well, sir, I am not the education or foreign affairs staffer for the congressman, so I feel like I wouldn't be able to give you a good answer there, but definitely something to look into for you. Can I ask how you feel about it, sir?
Well, I feel the same way you do. I'll guarantee it. Are you going? If you're going to college right now, do you know that I would definitely, if y'all put me in office anywhere, I'm telling you, y'all won't be paying to go to school. Absolutely not. The only way that you would pay to go to school is if you come and when you do the paperwork, if you said, all right, Jake walks in and he says, hey, I want to become a doctor. Okay, well, that's a let's say an 8-year course. All right, well, if he goes halfway, then he's going to have to pay back halfway, whatever that is. Okay, if he goes 7 out of the 8 years, he'll have to pay the 7 years. But if he graduates from that, see, and what this does is this assures that we're not wasting your money out there. So if Jake finishes that course, he becomes a wonderful doctor. Well, he just made our country stronger and better and smarter. If he comes in and he wants to be, I don't know, a scientist or something like that, 4-year course or something to study, what's really going on with cancer and how to beat it or whatever. And again, if he goes 2 years, then he would and drops out for whatever reason, But if he finishes that course, nobody should have to pay because we just made our own country better. It's smarter. It's stronger. Now, so how do I feel about paying for another country when we have so many Americans right here? Look, we know that they are blatantly in our face. I mean, and I'm telling you, it's coming. The red wave or whatever they want to call it. I don't care what the people are coming. The people are coming. And right now our patience are so thin that we're trying to have enough patience to make it to this election, but we're not liking what we're seeing, and we need Brad to dig in there and why he's still in there for the rest of his term there before he goes on his hiatus there and gets out of it and bails on us. We want him to make sure that these elections are the way that they should be. You present a photo ID and you get a slip of paper and you write it down, and then why are they going in machines at all? I don't want them to go in a machine. I want them to go into a box, and I want them to be counted by I don't know how many people. It'd be easy to do. But nope, they still want to do the machines. But so make sure that these elections are absolutely legit. Did you see the one where the guy just accidentally forgot to count 10,000 votes? Just found the bag laying in the back. So they say, you know what I mean? Forgot to count the mail-in ballots. You have to look that up. That's a screamer. But see, we're tired of hearing about stuff like this. How is that even possible that a whole bag of ballots was just forgot? So, and we're talking like 3 days, and then they claim that they was in a locked up cage and stuff. Now here's the thing: maybe in a different world at another time, just same way like with the bridge, you know, somebody might say, "Oh, it's just an accident," but nope, we're not in the accident time right here, right now. We know that something bad is happening. So, the paying for another country for them to go to college and stuff? No, absolutely, 1,000% no. We've got our own problems right here. Now they've hired more babysitters or handlers, Border Patrol, to get into our country. And by hiring Border Patrol, it's not to keep them out. Once again, we've talked about this before. Border Patrol is not to keep them out. It's so that when they come across, it actually helps the Biden regime to get these people processed. Processed, what does that mean? That means hand them more of my money so that when they come in, they can shoot us in the face because they have more rights than what we do. But here's the thing. We, the people, understand clearly now. We know that they're being given more rights than we do in our own country. And you know, like I said, for right now, our patience is way thin. I mean, way thin. So we're hoping we can get to this election without anything, you know, breaking down or going awry or something, you know. But, you know, clearly, if anybody doesn't understand in the government that is what our Second Amendment is for, whether you like it or not, you can take it for, you know, and make it out whatever you want to, but the Second Amendment says what it's for. And we, the people, that is our God-given right when you're talking about our Second Amendment. And I'm here to tell you, and you know it, we ain't happy with the government. And when you disown your own government, you know, that Second Amendment is on everybody's mind. But this goes really, really deep whenever you get into a subject like this, especially with everybody out there, you know, who I'm talking about that I've had face-to-face conversations with and stuff. It goes deep because you can get into things like, well, when the government comes at you, like how are they going to do it? Do you think that they're going to send an army and everybody's going to know to, like, oh, well, hold on, let me call Bill and Steve and Greg and, you know, everybody else, and wait, give us time. We're going to get everybody together to have our militia together, you know. They ain't going to do that. They ain't going to do that. Let me ask you something. If you see the sheriff roll up on somebody that lives across from you, I won't say neighbors because, again, I'm going to... my favorite story is the one that Jesus told himself, and that's the Good Samaritan. Look that up. You'll know who your neighbor is. Okay, so the person that you live close to or whatever is not necessarily your neighbor. But if you see somebody across from you or whatever, and the sheriff shows up at their door, what's the first thing that people say? Even if once you see them in torture cuffs, which should be outlawed, they are illegal to me, but when you see them put on the torture cuffs and they take them out and they put them in these, here's a little snippet for you right here. Do you know who one of the biggest owners of private jails in the United States of America is?
Can you tell me, sir?
Yeah. Would you like me to?
Please.
Do me one more favor and tell me that you're really, truly, for yourself, interested.
I am, sir. Please.
Michael Jordan. Why does he own them?
Yeah, can you tell me a little more about the situation, sir?
Oh yeah, you know what? Excellent, Jake. Because maybe there's some out here. Some of y'all may not know this, but when somebody goes to jail, okay, I don't know why that straight to jail. Jail, gotta be jail. Anyway, it's a meme thing. Anyway, that it's not the state that owns the jails. It's not the federal government. It's none of that like you would think. It's like, oh, well, they got to go and they got to be. No. A private citizen, anybody out there watching right now, you can be the proud owner of a jail. Yep. And it's the same way as a motel or a hotel. The more cells that's filled up, the government will pay you for each one of them cells that have an occupant. I sure wouldn't want anybody going to jail if I owned a bunch of jails. Now, would you? See, again, it's we the people that's getting duped. Because you think of the government as being one way. Like, oh, they're there to help and everything. And how many people are we seeing now? How many of us out there has had this same conversation? Don't look for the government to come and save you. You better save yourself. That's why all of us out here are working on what we're working on right now, which is saving this country. Because clearly, the government's not going to do it. I just pointed at you, Jake. You're the government, right?
I know one of my favorite quotes from Ronald Reagan is, I'm sure you know it, those terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Yeah, that's so right. Yeah, I forgot all about that. Ronald Reagan did say that. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Yep. True story. Honest engine man. I was not a fan of Reagan when he was in there and everything, and I remember when he got shot in the whole 9 yards or whatever. I got to be honest with you, I didn't want him to be shot at. I don't want anybody to be hurt or anything, even back then. But I didn't like him, and it was only years after he was done. Matter of fact, when I started waking up, was after I did something. I know. I appreciate y'all for praying for me because I was really bad. I voted for Obama twice, and that's hard for me to admit. But that is how brainwashed that we the people was, because where I was getting my information from was the mainstream media, and even Fox. Fox pretends to be, like that they're this conservative news outlet or whatever, but it's not. They're not at all. When you get into the owners of who owns that and what they donate to and the things that they do, that is so subtle, because what they do is Fox. It doesn't just come just hard hit you and just bam, this way. No. What they do is they give little nudges like this. They just kind of nudge you a little bit. And people don't even realize that it's happening. And I'll be honest, I used to watch Fox. I was a big Fox goer, all except for Tucker Carlson. I didn't like Tucker Carlson. Didn't like him. Couldn't stand listening to him. And I had friends of mine that would tell me all the time, well, did you watch Tucker Carlson? And honestly, I couldn't stand to watch 5 minutes of the guy. Who was your favorite Fox anchor at the time, sir?
Tucker Carlson.
No, I thought you said you didn't like Tucker Carlson.
No, I had to say that. It was.
I got you.
No, was it Hannity?
Yeah, Sean Hannity.
Yeah, Sean Hannity. Yeah, no, I liked it.
Probably at that time it was, what's his name? Bill O'Reilly was still with the network.
No, I wasn't. I was never a huge Bill O'Reilly fan, and I watch him now every great once in a while, but no, honestly, what I watch is I watch the people. I've got channels that I watch that are individuals. All. Let me put a plug to JLR. JLR. If you want to look up somebody that's really doing something, you got your computer up, Jake. Pull up JLR Investigates. If you want to see something, that man is awesome, and he is truly doing exactly what you want to see somebody in the news do. He's an American. I'm telling you, he is a patriot. He really is. Because he's not going out.
Pulled up his Twitter account, sir. Just looking at it real quick.
Yep. Well, check him out on YouTube because he's got some really excellent stuff there. I mean, he's right there in Texas, and I mean, he's up and down the border, you know, and all that. He actually helped catch a lot of the people as they was coming in. So JLR, that's a true, genuine cat right there, buddy. Yep. I'm trying to get a hold of him. I'm hoping maybe I can get a hold of him and maybe do an interview with him or something sometime. Something. I'm creeping up on my subscribers out there, and this
I was
is.
going to say, what's your subscriber count, sir?
You mean for YouTube?
Yeah. What's has it increased?
Oh, you're wanting to know my numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, we're I know it's over. What is it now? No.
934.
934.
That's great.
Yeah, so I thank every one of you out there. Thank you so much to the subscribers and stuff. We're looking forward. We got some stuff when we actually go live. And I don't know that whenever I'm trying to set it up now to get a meeting with Brad in person. And I just got the paperwork for that. And so we're going to be sending that in and see if we can't set something up. And I'm kind of wanting to do it once after I get the 1,000 subscribers, because I don't know if I'm going to do a live thing. Well, I know I'm going to go live. I don't know if the interview that I'll do live yet or not, but I might. We ain't quite there yet. I might record it and then put it out just so I can see, when you say editing, I don't mean like take things out or add to or something like that. I just like putting information on the screen, like if somebody wants to call, you know, like right now, the phone number to call is 202-224-3121. And you'll call the switchboard and just tell them you want to talk to your representative, which right now is what we're doing right here with Jake, if you're just joining us at Brad Winthrop's office here, 2nd District of Ohio. So, and we're glad that you're here. And appreciate every subscriber out there. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Appreciate every one of you. We're growing fast. I don't know how many people said, man, I can't believe how fast your channel's growing. So that ain't me. That's thanks to you guys, man. So, but we got a lot of really, really awesome stuff coming up. I'm getting ready to, as soon as we get our 1,000, something pretty cool that's coming up. We're going to be doing a giveaway that's pretty special. So make sure, if you haven't already, get in there and get subscribed and stuff so you can get signed up whenever we go to do that and stuff. So anyway, back here to our buddy Jake. Yeah, we're 9:30 something now. Did you say
4?
9:34. So I'd say by the end of the week or so, we should be pretty close there. If anybody's got any questions or anything that they want me to ask, leave them in the comments there. Love to hear from each and every one of you, as you guys already know. So jump on there and let's make some stuff happen. There are so many people that are actually... I know what I was going to tell you about, Jake. Everybody out there. Mike Lindell, everybody knows that's been with me anytime at all. I think Mike Lindell has got to be one of my favorite patriots fighting for this country. And I just read an article where there's some warehouse or something that they said he was getting evicted from and stuff like that. But then I did research and found out that that is, it's got to be some kind of ABC affiliate or something like that. So, but if anybody knows anything about Mike Lindell, they know that the man said he would spend his last penny to correct and get our country back. So, we're definitely praying for Mike Lindell for sure. There's so much stuff like over in what was it, Moscow, Jake, where they had that tragedy happen where they
terrible, isn't it?
Yes, very much so. But here's what's happening. Putin was on live last night, and he said that he knows, and I guarantee he's right. But he said that he knows that they are being influenced by the West, meaning America, to do that kind of stuff. You know, just like with the Nord Stream pipeline or whatever, you know, that's kind of a no-brainer what happened with that. You know, there's there's too much garbage going on. And I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't blame Brad or anybody for wanting to get the hell out of that office. But that brings me to probably the final topic that I'm going to have you to take to Mr. Winstrup for us. And that is, we definitely want term limits. You know, because if you think about this, if you're taking care of somebody, now the main thing that whenever I'm talking to anybody out there about, and most of the people I run into, they say that they want term limits for the obvious reason, which is, well, once they get in there, they feel like it's a moneymaker for themselves, which it is. That's what they do. They use the inside trader and everything else, and they become millionaires. That's why I really need to look into Brad's, you know, to make sure that he straightens stuff, because it should be a mandatory that anybody in our government has to have a mandatory evaluation, not just on their performance and stuff each year, but they should also have to have an audit done. And it's just to see that, because, okay, if somebody comes in and they're wanting to make a bunch of money from using the power of the people, you know, putting them in there, and then they know that they've got all this influence and stuff, and the power that the people, you know, instill in them, and they use that for their own self-gain. But if you put somebody in there that's genuinely working for we the people, when you're a servant to somebody, even one person, after a while, it gets tiresome. But you know, I've done it a lot. I mean, I've actually, and I still do, I take care of it, and thank you, Lord, my son, you know, the boss. But you can get tired after a while. And even though you don't want to take a break, it's better for you to take a break. Now, that's a little bit different than what I'm talking about as being in the government. Because in the government, Jake, we appreciate you, brother, where you're at. And I know that I kind of give you a hard time and stuff like that. But we the people, really, we don't have no patience for somebody that don't have thick skin and don't understand that, you know, there's a lot of bad stuff happening, you know. So we do appreciate you. But those term limits are there to make sure that you don't get in there, get happy with your position, and just keep railroading we the people year after year after year, and there's nothing we can do about it. Just like with the Supreme Court, who in their right mind come up with, well, let's pick a one dude to sit in there for the remainder of their life. That's stupid on a stick. They have guidelines, they have rules, and and what they're there for is interpret the laws, to read the laws and see what they say, you know. And then people put the amendments in and stuff, and then they have to, you know, incorporate that in with what the original law said and everything. It's a thing. I mean, I know it's hard to do, but there also has to be a limit on that, because think about that. If you're in a place like that, if somebody buys you, think of the damage not only that can be done. So let's throw that word can out the window. It's just like whenever, the cops arrest somebody, they say can and will be. No. Forget about the word can. The word that you want to focus on is will be used against you, because it will be. And not only that, but now they went even further, because when was it that they ruled on us, Jake, back in whatever year that was? They said that the cops, the people that works for us, that's supposed to be one of us doing a job that we all want done, even though they're in that uniform. Sort of like where Jake's at right now. He's an American. He gets it. He knows exactly what we're talking about. He understands this gripe here. We're not directing it at somebody who's genuinely on our side and it's working for us. We're directing it at the dirtbags out there, the invaders, these minds, these corrupt people who are like George Soros and stuff that clearly have a reprobate mind, means destined for hell, means they're going to hell. It doesn't mean that they might go to hell. It means they're predestined for hell. So they're in a reprobate mind. So what good are they? They're no damn good. Soulless. So, but if you get somebody who's genuinely, working for we the people, we have to take care of them for 100%, but when they use those words like can and will be held against you, the main word there is it will be held against you. So these judges being put in there for lifetime or whatever, that shouldn't be at all. And matter of fact, before, you should have the last year overlapping, like when another judge comes in for the next, and it could be like for 6 years or something like that. I get it. You wouldn't want a big turnover, because about the time somebody would be really learning that job, you wouldn't want something else. Or at the very least, let's do something like an audit for them. Like have the Supreme Court justices have like a group of people that oversees each one of their decisions, and audit their bank accounts. And also, if you're going to do that for we the people, as long as you're working for us, we need to know, like what I want to know, we want to know about Brad Winstrup. Who's he hang out with? Where's he go? What's his pastime? What's his plans after he gets out of there? Now, see, everybody says, oh, he lives in this little rinky-dink shack. Well, let me tell you something. How many movies have we watched and seen where, and you know what? People can say it's a movie, but I'm talking about true life stories where people's robbed a bank or something. They've got billions of dollars or millions. Back in the day, it was millions. So let's say millions, because billions, that's out of control. But they hid the money. And then they wait till, everything blows over. They don't spend that money. And then they wait so many years till where their statute of limitations. And then everything's good, So, and then they live high on the law. Now, Brad Winstrup, see, he retiring after this year. So that means when is it? The 1st of 2025, Jake?
So, I believe January 20th is the date for the presidential inauguration. I can't remember the exact date when the term officially ends, sir.
Okay, well, still my point is...
It is January. It is the month that his term is up, sir.
Okay, so it's up. So he won't be in there come 25, right?
Yes.
He will.
No, I'm saying, yes, you will not. His term ends in January 2025.
Okay, so again, he will be departed by the time 25 comes along, first of the year.
I think he's in there for the very beginning of the month, sir.
Oh, okay. So probably a little bit of, I get it. So it's kind of like with the president.
Yes.
Sort of like how it, November and then, okay. So anyway, if he starts driving around fancy cars and he moves into a big lavish home and he starts giving away, big gifts and stuff like that. We know he was corrupt. Does he act corrupt in there, any, Jake?
Absolutely not.
No, I'm just kidding. Well, we have to figure something else out before I let you go. What is going on with the Republican House right now? We got two of them that's bailing out of there. One of them, did they already? I think they already vamoosed her.
So,
And then the other one has to wait till April 19th because.
Ken Buck just left the House, sir, and then Congressman Gallagher announced he's going to be leaving it. I think it was April 17th or 19th, like you said.
Yeah, so to clarify sort of what's going on here is like right now, Republicans are the majority in the House. So, but and it's only by a slim margin here. How many seats is it, Jake? What is it, 6 seats?
It's going to be a 1-seat margin, sir.
It will be. Now, once Jake's saying what I was getting at here, which is when these guys part, there's only going to be a 1 seat. But that doesn't mean that they have control because there's a lot of rhinos that we have, which are fake. They're just Democrats in disguise pretending to be Republicans. If you don't know what a rhino is, sort of like Rona McDaniel's there. Did you see what happened with her, Jake?
Yes, I did, sir.
You did?
Mm-hmm. She got hired by NBC, now she got let go by NBC.
She was let go as RNC Republican
Chairwoman, excuse me.
yeah, chairwoman, but she's been in there since, was it 16 or 18?
I can find that out for you, sir.
Well, that's okay, Jake, because the main point is ever since she showed up, we ain't won nothing. Republicans didn't win nothing, and she was like spending big money on stupid stuff like flowers and stuff. And then come Laura Trump here just about a month ago or whatever. She gets in there. Within 3 days, she fires 60 people within 3 days. And she said no more of that, that every penny was going to go towards getting Trump elected. Thank goodness that she did that, because this outrageous, stupid $460-some million fine that they put on Trump, for bogus reasons and stuff, ridiculous. But anyway, they cut it down to 160 some million or whatever it was, and the number's not really that important, but just the fact that they looked at it and said, "Yep, that's an excessive fine," which is what our Constitution says. It says there shall not be unreasonable fines imposed. That clearly was by a judge. And this is why I'm saying we need overseers of the judges, especially the ones in the Supreme Court. Because if a lower little peon judge like this dude can cause we the people this much money and this much anguish and stuff, no, I'm shaking her head. Yeah, I don't, right? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. So we have to redo the new government. We've got to get some things in place and stuff, just like when it comes to our voting and everything. But like Jake was saying, NBC hired Rona McDaniels for 1 day. And they had so many of the Democrats and stuff call in, they couldn't stand her. But you know what? Republicans don't want her neither. So she was less than a rhino. She's less than a Democrat. Democrats don't want her. Republicans don't want her. So anyway, I think she needs some more lipstick applied or something. But hey, listen, Jake, thank you so much, buddy.
Absolutely, sir.
You are an awesome answer machine, and I hope that you've subscribed to the channel by now. And if you haven't, I hope that you at least watch the show.
I'll be happy to, sir.
Yep. Hey, you're really, really appreciated, and I'm saying that in all seriousness from the bottom of my heart. We the people, are still talking about you, man. We're pulling for you. We're praying for you.
Sir, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, we're praying for you. Make sure that you tell Brad there the things. Did you want to tell us what you're going to tell him about this time?
I'll be happy to, sir.
What you got wrote down?
Say it again, sir.
What you got wrote down that you're going to take to him this time?
Your concerns about AI, the border, definitely the border. It's always a huge concern. Term limits for both representatives and justices, I think, is another big one. I might have missed. What was the very first topic we talked about, sir? Remind me real quick.
I'm not for sure. What was our first one about?
Flipping back to my notes here. Oh, your concerns with the Francis Scott Key Bridge incident, and as well as the incident in the Russian Mall, the Moscow Mall.
Well, I was getting ready to roll through a whole list of them for you if you didn't have that, but we absolutely want the massive amount, the wave of garbage. I mean, that I started to say it earlier, and I didn't get
Also,
to.
your concerns about funding Egyptian students
Well, the main part of the damn bill was any part that goes to doing away with what God's creating in a woman's body absolutely is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So I have a huge problem with that, as of everybody that I talk to has a huge problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yeah.
So, but if you would find out if he would... now, they told us where to find, we already know how much that Brad's making a year and stuff like that. You know what? Right now, what I would like is for him to understand that he has so many irons right now that he has to get to. Ask him if he would like our help, because I can get with We the People here or whatever and find out, and I can bring a group of people or whatever straight up to, and we'll bring how to fix whatever he needs fixed. So you can tell him that if he has a question about something, all he's got to do is ask We the People, because that's the way it should be. That's the way it's going to be. And we would really like to hear from him. We would really like for him to say, hey, here's an issue, and I'm glad that I because this is what I've been trying to remember, is what it was that I really wanted to lay on. So I'm glad it went this way. Why is it that they take off and they work on what they think they should be working on out of their own brain, when they really shouldn't be using their brain to determine what they work on? They should be using We the People's brain by asking our brains. All they have to do is get on there anywhere on Brad Winstrip. What is it? BradWinstrip.gov?
You talking the website, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, winstrip.house.gov.
Winstrip, okay. House.gov, okay. Why? Tell him we want to see him ask us for something. Tell him that we the people want him to put a question to We the People.
We'll be happy to let him know about that, sir.
Yeah, because if he puts one thing on there, we'll show him that all they have to do, this is a simple job to have. It really is. I mean, not right now, there's so damn many of them. But we truly can be doing what we should have been doing all the way along. Ask We the People a question. Tell him we want to see him ask us a question. And you know what? We know he has access to a computer and stuff, and we expect to see that no later than tomorrow. Jake, thank you so much, buddy. You are out of here, and I appreciate you so much. God bless you, man.
All right,
All right. Thanks, Jake. Bye bye. All right. Let me tell you, we the people had better figure this out if we haven't already. But there's so many of you out there that I've talked to and stuff. Kim, Charlotte, Dave. What's my new? What was the one up in Chillicothe? Isaac, one of them, and then there was another one that just subscribed and stuff that was at Wits or whatever. I can't remember the name right now, but shout out to you and your family. You know who you are. Forgive me right now. I got 1,000 things in my brain or whatever. But we met up to Wits, and I think it's Mitch. Yeah, Mitch. What's his last name?
Hamilton.
Mitch Hamilton. Yeah, Mitch. To you and your family, appreciate you so much for subscribing. Ran into some really good people just last night at Dollar General in Wellston. They was kind enough to let me go first or whatever. I had called in and I needed a hard drive for my or a thumb drive for the computer, and I asked the young lady at Dollar General if she would have that waiting for me, which she did. Shocker, you know. But I walked in and there were some wonderful, wonderful people. Young lady and her 2 kids, and she had a little bit of stuff in the cart and everything, but I didn't care. But the way that you go in, I was standing right at the cash register, and I just didn't want to walk around in behind and stuff like that. So I was just waiting on them. They're like, "Oh, go ahead." But I said, No. I said, "I just come the shortcut here." I said, "No, you was here." But she was wonderful, and she was like, No, go ahead. You only got that. So, but then as I was talking, I said, "Why you got the phone out? Why don't you subscribe to the channel?" And Betty said, I love y'all like that. The ones that just pull your phone out or whatever and just right there on the spot. She subscribed, and I so appreciated that. I didn't catch y'all's name or whatever, but if you do watch this, thank you so much. Thank you to every subscriber out there. I truly mean it. I'm trying to do some things that's fun and actually not stick to just all this work and stuff that you and I have to do out there together, because we have to do this together. We're going to put this country back on track with the Lord's blessing and with His help. That's the only way. It's with His help. Look, He's going to do it. We're helping Him. So He doesn't even need our help. But Lord willing that we get back on track the right way. Trump come out and he's helping Lee Greenwood with that with the King James Bible that actually includes is the Constitution, I think, is in it, and something else. I can't remember. There's something else to it, but anyway, it's a big deal. It's a pretty expensive Bible, you know what I mean? But I got to tell you something. It is. I said politics and religion don't mix, or they said that, and I disagree with that. They're one and the same. So I think it's a wonderful thing to have the King James Bible with the Constitution and stuff in there. So how bad can a Christian be if they say, love thy neighbor, be good to one another, help each other? Jesus said to take care of one another and, to love. So, but yet, when you listen to these godless things, which it's not that we're listening to them, but we hear them all the time going, and they always talk out their butthole, and it stinks for obvious reasons. It's a butthole. So, with that being said, we're going to jump off here. But look for that Bible, man. It's I think it's beautiful. I really do. So, if y'all need any prayer out there, drop us a line, drop them in the comments or something, and we pray for each and every. I pray for you guys out there, every subscriber, every day, and I so appreciate each one of you from the bottom of my heart. I really do. it's quite a humbling thing, to think that I didn't think that I would get maybe 5 subscribers at one time, and I didn't really care how many that I got, just as long as they was genuine, real good people, just as long as you're kind-hearted, and that genuinely care, and I so appreciate it. If you're not a Christian, and you haven't found the Lord yet or whatever, I so encourage you to get you a Bible or drop a comment or something like that. Man, we're praying for you, and we're so glad that you're here. We really are. I'm tickled to death that you're here. If you haven't been saved yet, if you are saved and you love the Lord, drop it in the comments. Tell me who you are, so that I know your name. That would be great, so I can pray for you by name. Because I say be with the subscribers and stuff whenever I'm praying. But if I know your name, I guarantee you I'll put in a special prayer for you. Hey, listen, we're out of here. God bless America. God bless you and yours. We're praying for you. Thank you so much for praying for us. Love you, Lord. Love you, boss. Call your representative out there, 202-224-3121. God bless America. Peace out.